like a lot to accomplish in one book, but it's a process that you can move through at your own pace. You might even decide to take more than 21 days, especially if you choose to take the weekends off. No one is keeping track of how long it takes you, so walk in grace. In each day's reading, you'll find biblical application, an activity to work through, reflection questions, and a closing scripture prayer designed to help you find the solutions that fit your life. Make the most of this opportunity by giving yourself evidence of your efforts, something to look back on when you're done. Use a journal or notebook to record your thoughts as you work through the exercises and questions. If you want to dig further into the scriptures, look up the verses listed at the end of the prayers. You may choose to read the verses in context and record in your journal any portions that stand out. If you choose to embrace this journey with friends or in a group, which would be a great experience and ideal for accountability, the questions lend themselves to group discussion. Approaching the process of change. Did you know that embracing fresh attitudes and focused habits is actually a scientific process and not just a theological undertaking? That's because of plasticity, which simply means your brain remembers your actions like pathways, and those pathways can be changed. Isn't that great news? Change is possible, although real change requires real work to carve out those new pathways in your brain. Here is how the process works. Imagine there is a field in front of you. To the left is a beaten-down path leading to your neighbor's house, but it winds a couple of miles out of the way. You're tired of the time it takes to go in that direction, so you decide to carve a new path that could take you straight across the field in fewer than 15 minutes as compared to the usual 45. Grabbing a machete, you get to work. After hours of labor, you see progress, but you've got so much farther to go. The sun is beating down and scorching your back, so you quit for the day with plans to start again tomorrow. The next morning, you wake up with good intentions. However, the sound of raindrops tapping on the roof entices you to stay cozy inside. Days later, the rain hasn't quit. The work you did on that new path feels pointless as you see the new wildflowers sprouting while the old path is still not yet overgrown. What would you do? Would you quit creating that new path and just use the old one? It takes as much effort to leave that old path behind as it does to carve out the new one. Why? Because the old one is more comfortable and familiar and requires no work, while the new one demands dedication and focus. Yes, sticking with old habits is easier than forming new ones. So, what should you do? You have to keep the cost in mind. Staying as is will add up over the long haul. Putting in the effort toward change may feel exhausting now, but you will reap so much later on. Plus, there's a secret about change. Once you begin to see results, you'll be motivated to keep working toward that goal of real transformation. So how about putting into practice an approach that will enable you to embrace fresh attitudes and focused habits, one thought and one action step at a time? That's where Trap and Transform comes in. The Trap and Transform technique is an approach built from two key principles found in Scripture. Principle 1. Trap your thoughts and attitudes. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. 2 Corinthians 10, verse 5. Principle 2. Transform your habits. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Romans 12, verse 2. The Trap and Transform process is simply an intentional way to consider how your thoughts and attitudes impact the way you're living